Oh wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 320 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players, for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we're talking about the PlayStation 5 console outpacing the PlayStation 4 in sales. PlayStation on PC just made gaming on PC pricier, and our Horizon Burning Shores review, and so much more. But with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty okay. And, I just realized that This episode is 320.
It's 320, yeah.
Releasing on 420.
Oh, what are the odds?
We're so close. In 2 years, if we do an extra... No, if we don't do... Oh, God, math. 4 episodes, our 420th episode will be on 420.
God bless. Let's make it happen.
Well, never mind. That's not how the calendar works.
No. We're going to make it work.
Nah, it's whatever. Forget I said anything.
No.
Rewind.
We're going to make it... Nobody knows how math works, Kyle. All right?
It's like Insane Clown Posse with the magnet line in their rap. Have you ever heard that one?
Never in my life, Kyle.
They had a song. I forgot what the song was called, but in it, one of the lines of the song is magnets. How the hell do they work? That was in the song.
Can I tell you something, Kyle? I actually thought the Insane Clown Posse was a joke. Like, I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't understand why people were so afraid of them. Like, they're just dressed as Fat Ronald McDonald. I don't know.
Listen, for everything I've heard about the fan base, though, they get wild.
They get wild?
They're pretty crazy, like
us?
Not like in a good crazy way. No, like they will kill somebody.
Oh no! Maybe there's a rhyme to the reason why people are a little off-put by the clowns. Kyle, listen, before we start this show, which is an Insane Posse, Clown Posse podcast now.
Welcome to the Juggalo Room.
Right, they're also called
Also, that song's called Miracles, I'm pretty sure, so go give it a listen.
Kyle, you know a little bit too much. Were you a juggalo?
I was not a juggalo, but they did wrestle in WCW for a time, so that's why I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. A pass. I don't believe it. Kyle, I'd like to start the show.
Next week, I'm going to come on with the makeup.
With the makeup. But it's like kind of half done off, like you're trying to wipe it away.
I'm going to turn this way, and then I'm going to turn, and half of my face is the juggalo makeup.
Please, for the love of God. Oh, God. So what I like to do each and every week, I like to start off with a question. And I want to take this question from our good friend Miles Dampierre, who asked it on Twitter, which is going to be a dead website in a few days. He asked a nice question. Could you tell me one nice thing about Xbox, one nice thing about PlayStation, one nice thing about Nintendo, and then a thing that they can each do better? Okay? And for Xbox, we're not going to talk about Game Pass. That's just such an easy out.
It's an easy out.
It's it's the best thing on gaming. Look at it. It's like, no. None of that. What's the pros for each one, Kyle?
Okay. I'll start with my bread and butter, PlayStation. Yeah. I think they easily have the most engaging IP, first-party stuff out there. And they're second to none in my eyes, all of them. Xbox, I really enjoy how they are building up the studios around Xbox. Okay. Going back to like when they bought Double Fine, I think was a great deal. Yeah. Oh my God, why am I blanking on the Hellblade studio? Thank you. I gotcha. Ninja Theory, and like as much as I'm going to miss my Wolfenstein on PlayStation and whatnot, getting Bethesda I think was a slam dunk from them, and the future is very bright once everything gets moving. Sure. At Xbox Game Studios. Nintendo,
whenever that is.
No. We're
no,
in the
no,
pro.
no, no, no.
We're in the pros.
We're in the pros. We're in the
Section.
pros. That was a joke. Everybody laughed.
Nintendo. Nobody has that feeling of magic when it comes to video games better than Nintendo stuff. There's something about a Nintendo game that is just magical, and that's the reason why we love the Mario Brothers movie so much. It just has that. It's like the nostalgic. You are instantly transported to a kid again type of magic that they have, and it's pretty incredible.
All right, what's the cons here, Kyle? What's the things they can do better?
Sure. Xbox needs to learn how to schedule and manage their lineup a little bit better.
Okay, fair. I don't think anybody would be arguing that right now.
No, I think the droughts in between are even longer than PlayStation.
Okay.
At least lately, and that's a bummer. PlayStation, they need to talk to us a little bit more.
Oh, Jesus, do they?
And in a more efficient way, and especially when it comes to indies, they need like the initiative is there. Shoes running it, the indie division there at PlayStation, but they need to do a better job on that front. Nintendo, they get a pass for holding back all their games and then re-releasing and be like, here, buy it for the 6th time, and you should be thanking us.
And we're gonna pull it away from the store in 6 months. You got time, right?
Their handling of their first party stuff, is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
and of course the online service is getting better, but it's nowhere near.
Oh God, it's
what Xbox and PlayStation have in the year 2023.
The year of our Lord. So, okay, should I start with violence first or with the pros?
I don't know, whatever you feel.
All right, let's start with violence. Nintendo's literally ruining a single man's life. Guys, have you seen
I
this?
saw that.
Have you heard about this?
He like owes them $17.5 million or something like that.
So yeah, there was like a hacker, but like he was emulating games. Right, that Nintendo doesn't even sell, and they sued him. They gave him jail time, and now for the rest of his life, he has to pay 20 to 30% of each paycheck towards Nintendo. Forget about buying a home. Forget about saving up for retirement. This guy's life is systematically ruined.
Not just this guy's life, his children's.
Yeah.
Ruined an entire bloodline
just because he wanted to put Kid Icarus on a platform that Nintendo wasn't even gonna plan on supporting.
Nintendo, what are you doing?
God, I feel like that's a pretty heavy con. PlayStation, you're right, they don't talk to us at all, and I'm gonna say this, I think a lot of the way that they speak to us just sounds sterile. Just sounds so sterile. No personality to it. There's no like mascot. There's like, I would love like Shu got a BAFTA or wait, what was it? Was it a BAFTA?
Yeah, he got like a icon kind of award.
Yeah, and like Shu's great. I'd love to see him out more. I would like to see way less of Jim Ryan, and honestly,
Herman too.
Honestly, the one more con, if I could just throw one more in there. Yeah. Oh boy, this whole ABK thing's this is a bad look for us each and every week. Jim's doing something crazy, and I'm tired of it. Jim, stop fighting for me that hard, all right, man? It's getting embarrassing, all right?
Stop white knighting for me, Jim. Come on.
Please, and I wasn't asking. Oh, my God. And the con for Xbox is a weird one. They over-communicate. And it's also their pro. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. For Xbox, the way that they communicate with their fans, because they know that they have a smaller audience, right? And so how to grow that is to grow it within its ecosystem, right? Like create the champions, create your ambassadors, as it were, right? To represent your brand. They do a fantastic job of reaching out to the community, talking to small creators, big creators. They really don't care. And I like that about them. They don't care about your size. They really want to grow the community to get you in the brand. Yeah.
And they have FanFest too, which is I think a thing that I miss from PlayStation a whole lot. And that's
Again,
awesome.
goes back to the sterile thing, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation makes, my favorite games. And I believe some of the best games out there. Each and every year, we're talking about how there's a PlayStation game, not just on our show, because we have a bias, obviously, but like, the Jeff Keighley's or the IGNs or whatever have you of the world, there's always a PlayStation game in the conversation. They just know how to make the games that excite people. And I would say they're the best at making those those AAA story, they're the best AAA storytellers, bar none. And then when Nintendo's not ruining a man's life, which we'll forget because the Mario movie made us feel like kids again.
Yeah.
Which I bet if that guy's watching that movie, God forbid, right? It's just PTSD, but I feel like it's like the Homelander gif where he's just staring blankly into the screen.
Like, would that count as him paying Nintendo as part of his thing?
Maybe. God, how petty. But Nintendo, knows how to make the best games that don't involve guns. Like, just think about it. Like, they're really good at just the DNA of gameplay. Like, they understand it to the goddamn molecule, it seems. They are the best in terms of making first party content. I don't think anybody could go and debate it. Even if it's even for me, I've outgrown them, but no one does it better than Mario. No one does it better than Zelda. And you'd be kidding yourself to think otherwise, because it's just, they got mass appeal, man,
Yeah. So can I ask a quick question about that poor soul?
Yeah.
What made them go after him? Did they not remember people who originally bought PSPs just to emulate Nintendo stuff on them?
I feel like they went to Miyamoto. Miyamoto's like, I'm going to ruin this man's life. Yeah, I'm going to make an example out of this guy. And just to put the fear of God into everybody else. It's like a public execution to make an example of.
I imagine this guy is just sitting at home, right, playing codename Steam on his Switch, and he just hears a knock at the door, and he opens it, and it's Doug Bowser with the trench coat and the collar flipped up with the old Dick Tracy hat, kind of covering his eyes. He's like, "I'll see you in court. I got what I need."
Where's my money? I think you owe something to me and Mr. Emoto over there. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Hey, Kyle, listen, before we get into the news, a little bit of housekeeping. Some exciting things coming along the pipeline. Would you like to hear about it?
Always.
Well, first and foremost, head on over to the Trophy Room store, link in the comment section below, or in the description, rather. And then the second bit of housekeeping, Kyle, this is the major announcement that we've been teasing. We're finally joining every other podcast out there.
Finally!
We are recording the Trophy Room live on youtube.com/@PSTrophyRoom. Link in the description. We felt like for a very long time, we've been neglecting the video watchers over there on YouTube. And so we wanted to make the Trophy Room an event each and every Wednesday night, starting at May 3rd at 8 p.m. EST time. Join us as we record the show live on YouTube. It's going to be a really fun experience. We're going to test the waters, see if it works. And if you're an audio watcher or listener, rather, you go, how does this affect me? Nothing, because any type of super chats or any type of mega comments we get over on YouTube will go right over to the Sony Pony Express. So we're not going to get distracted by the chat in any which way. The chat's going to join us in our pre-show as we're getting ready, getting hyped, joining in the conversation. And then it's just a celebration of PlayStation in the chat. So it's going to be a really fun experience. I'm really excited for it. May 3rd. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be there or be square.
To add to that, another big announcement. That's where you'll find us live reacting to everything.
Everything.
We're no longer going to be on Twitch or use Twitch. It just makes a whole lot of sense to just have everything in one place, one destination for you to check us out on a video format. So.
And I think the best thing about that is nobody will, because there's a lot of people that miss the streams, unfortunately, and they're like, "Where can I find them?" I'm like, "Ah, I'm not a streamer type of person."
I think a lot of people also, it's easier to access YouTube than it is Twitch.
Absolutely.
At least on a
you gotta
mobile device and stuff. Yeah,
it's awful. God, Twitch sucks. That said, because we're streaming now on YouTube, we're going to be adding time codes because now I don't have to edit the show and waste an hour and 30 minutes of my life and go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning every Wednesday. I get to go to bed at a reasonable time, and y'all get time codes. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Win-win.
So, yeah. Awesome stuff. Can't wait. We'll be promoting the heck out of it in the coming weeks. That said, it's time for a Patreon pitch. Of course, like we say each and every week, if we ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your case may be, we'd really do appreciate it if you toss us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It's the reason why we look so great, sound so good. It's because of your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. I want to thank our newest member, Jay Shea at the Platinum tier. I want to thank our premium producers, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our platinum members, Brad Presnell, Brent Gillian, Jedi Master, and Cowboy Danger Day, Jonas Young, Jose Jimenez, The Green Guerrilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Millennial Falcon Gaming, Ryoko Kill 90, Sith Lord 92, Stephen Flesh, Strubles and Bits, and Jay Shea yet again. Our gold members, Awesome Dave, Cypher Primus, Bertos Maximus, Bulgin, Dosh Simon the Pie Man, Daniel Welsh, DJ Hercules 89, Elo 2032, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Heidendors, Nakachaka, Katie went to Star Wars Celebration, so jealous, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Kevin Ainsworth, K Grim, Lamb Chop 93, Marcus O'Neill, Androsasaur, Astronaut Jr., not to be mistaken with Astronaut Senior, Rec Arrington, Dwane Raksha, The Aztec King, Robbie Bobby Miller, Brunton Zachary, Brunty Blob, Bubble Boy N7, Captain Logan, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, M9 Prime, Stone Cold, E.T. Satso, Tino 6 Speed, M. Cly H85, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Matt Pew 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 Pew, The Red Arrow, and Spammin' Bammin', and of course, Somnia. Thank you all so much for your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And now it's finally time to square up the news.
First bit of news that needs to be squared up comes from Tom Ivan. Excuse me. Over at VGC, Tom writes, U.S. PS5 sales are now tracking ahead of PS4s on a time-aligned basis. That's according to Matt Piscatella, Executive Director and Video Game Industry Analyst at Circana, formerly the NPD Group. In the company's latest monthly sales report, which was published on Wednesday, Piscatella noted that PS5 unit sales are now tracking ahead of PS4s after the first 29 months on the market for both consoles. Boosted by increased stock and recent price promotions, PS5 is the best-selling console in units and dollars for both March and 2023 year-to-date. Last month, Circana reported that PS5 sales had reached a record high for any PlayStation system in the month of February. And according to Piscatella, PS5 also set a new March individual PlayStation platform unit record. Sony recently said it expects PS5 to smash PS4's global sales record for the first 3 months of a calendar year. Circana also said today that Resident Evil 4 was the best-selling game in March and is now the third highest-selling game of the year behind Modern Warfare 2 and frontrunner Hogwarts Legacy.
You love to see Resident Evil 4. First off, I think the big highlight here, Resident Evil 4 had what, like less than a week to do these numbers, right?
Yeah.
And it's the top selling game in March. Awesome. Good on you, Resident Evil 4. Good on you, Capcom. Y'all aren't missing, and I love to see that. That being said, we typically don't talk about sales numbers because they don't usually impress us very much. But no. I think here is the exception to the rule because we're seeing something that, honestly, when the PlayStation 4 was selling the way it did back in the day, that was eye-opening, right? It was kind of like clearing the gap, so to speak, in terms of the Xbox versus PlayStation, situation back in the day. But here we're having the PlayStation 5, and for all in for everybody saying, it's been a slow generation. For everybody going, there's nothing really to play on these next-gen consoles. For all the, hoo-ha over, cross-gen games, they're still getting them. Red Island 2, hoo-ha! over at like Dead Island 2, still a cross-gen game.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 5 is still selling. Even when like that narrative keeps spinning like a self-fulfilling prophecy, PlayStation 5 keeps selling. And not to mention how much it's selling. It's outpacing the PS4, but it's also outselling its rival Xbox, and it's finally starting to sell the thing that will not be killed, the Nintendo Switch. It's impressive. I've seen in some places, I think it's like shipment is up 300%. It's nuts. It's crazy. Kyle, why is the PlayStation 5 selling like hotcakes? Because everybody told me this generation's slow. The last generation started, there were so many other games, yada, yada, yada. What's going on here, man?
I don't know. I'm not smart enough to deal in these kind of numbers. Also, when did Circana change their name from NPD?
I was actually typing that up to see.
Okay. Also, why Circana? Interesting.
You know what? I like the rebrand.
Yeah. Part of me don't know how much of a influence it was, but you got to think a bump at least this year is from The Last of Us on HBO.
Oh, sure. Some of it, yeah.
You got to think people are like, oh, this is the type of stuff you can play on PlayStation, and running out and getting a console and checking out some games. But like the PlayStation 5 is a stellar console.
Yeah.
And we're going to be going into technically this is year 3 in November, which is wild to think about. They haven't been slowing down in terms of quality.
No.
And I think this also leads me to think like, I don't think they're going to rush into making a PS5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're selling like crazy already. I think maybe obviously it's going to come at some point, but yeah. I don't think it is or should be a high priority, I guess.
No, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's crazy how we're already getting rumors of like a PS5 like super slim or like a PS5 Pro where it like, to me, it doesn't even seem like we're using the hardware yet. Like, I feel like, we're going to talk about Burning Shores in a minute, but like, I feel like now we're starting to really see, oh, right, this is what next gen is all about.
Especially when, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, games that are only available on PS5.
Yeah. And it's not like...
We're going to check it.
Because like with PS5 exclusive games, too, it seems like each one of them have a quality and a performance mode. Right. And I feel like the day it stops, I feel like that's the day where maybe a PS5 Pro is necessary.
Sure. Yeah.
But, to me, I want to fight back on that notion that this generation's been slow because to me, not even in the slightest. Like, I think why the PS5 is just doing so well is because it's riding off the success of the PlayStation 4, but it's also not selling on its own merits. You know what I mean? It's not playing it safe. They're still doing really big things and impressive things with their IP as we're starting to get sequels to things like, God of War or things like Horizon, right? Like, you're still seeing them push the boundaries of how they want to tell their stories. And I love that so much. This is why I'm a PlayStation fan. But when I think about the games that have come out, not even in the last 3 years alone, you got Spider-Man Miles Morales. You got Sackboy: A Great Adventure. You got Demon's Souls. You got Ratchet and Clank. You got Returnal, right? You got God of War. You got Horizon. Like, the list keeps on growing, right? You got Kena, Bridge of Spirits.
Gran Turismo,
right? Off the top of my head, that's like, what, 9 games?
Last of Us Part 1.
Theoretically.
I mean, sure, but it should count.
You want to
right?
give it to them, fine.
Yeah.
And then at the same exact time, you're seeing them make deals with third-party AAA, companies outside of just your Call of Duties. Right, like look at Capcom. Resident Evil 4 came out, sold dominantly on PlayStation. Hogwarts Legacy, which in itself has sold, I think, over 256% of what they thought that game was going to sell, projections-wise, which is wild. Both those games are marketed as if they were PlayStation exclusives. They're partnering up with IP that is unavoidable. Like IP like Spider-Man. KOTOR, listen, I'll hold my breath, but you see them making deals with places like Star Wars. Final Fantasy 16. And when people
7.
go 7. But when you see like people going, I don't know what's happening for the future of PlayStation. I'm like, really? Final Fantasy 16 is in 2 months, everyone. Right? Spider-Man shortly afterwards. We're getting a Wolverine. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's still games that we don't. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Stellar Blade. Like, there are reasons to be excited for this console, and I'm getting annoyed at the whole, like, this console generation's been slow. Yeah, I think it's been steady. I think we're starting to view the PS4 and Xbox One generation with, like, the rose-tinted glasses. And I think it's better if we take them off and say there's been some stellar games here.
I will say, as somebody who does think that we need to hear about the future a little bit, especially when it comes from first party, I think that is also just going back to our pros and cons. They're just not talking to us nearly as much. I feel like if they talk to us, that fear of what's coming next would be gone.
Yeah.
But there's such huge gaps in between a state of play, this weird here's 5 indies in 20 minutes on Twitter.
Yes.
And then a huge showcase, which I have thoughts about in a little bit, but like they just need to talk to us a little bit more. I mean,
even PSVR 2, which is like up in the air. I know there's some reports saying, oh yeah, PSVR 2 is selling fine. There's some other reports going,
still outselling all the other VR headsets that have come out so far.
There's even some
3 months or something.
Some that's saying, well, it's selling fine, but there's trouble ahead. But even when I say that, they still launch a second piece of hardware with an impressive first party first party lineup would be a lie. A solid launch lineup is what I meant to say for it as well. Like, so it's, again, I kind of, maybe for someone out there who's not happy with what they've played thus far, fine. But to throw the kitchen sink at it, I don't know. The PlayStation 5 selling well because it's riding off the success of the PS4 and it's delivering on the promises of its gamers, which is we're going to give you the best of the best with options. And you love to see it. Now, Kyle, you added a question here last minute.
Yeah,
would you care to
I had it in the Sony Pony Express, and I remembered it's probably going here. From a community member, Jamie, on our Discord. Join the Discord, because Twitter's going to explode at some point.
You saw Microsoft's like, we ain't paying that.
I didn't see this as a topic, but it got me curious after the news we received this morning.
Yeah.
After seeing the results of the latest NPD, not technically their name anymore, and other sales data from other parts in the world about the high sales of PS5s for Q1, do you think it can eventually surpass the Switch in sales? It looks like they have finally surpassed the PS4 in unit sales launch aligned. Could PlayStation actually have a chance to surpass PS2 sales in the scenario where we prolong this generation an extra year or two due to the pandemic? I imagine that this year will be PlayStation's biggest year yet when it comes to sales. So where do you personally expect that number to be at the end of the generation?
That's a great question, Jamie.
Where is PS5 going to sit in the lineup of hardware in terms of sales?
No way does it sell more than the PS2. PS2 was, just such a dominant force at that time. You're really talking about a PlayStation that really didn't have a rival, right? Like it was a monster. Then on top of that, it had this new age technology attached to it that modern folk wanted to buy, called a DVD player.
Ooh-wee.
And kids, you might go, what do you mean? And I feel like I'm old enough that I have to explain. DVD players back in the day, they were expensive. Like, we're talking more than an Apple TV, kids, all right? Way more than an Apple TV. And to have that a part of what is essentially an entertainment, system, man, that was the bee's knees.
Just so everyone who doesn't know what the numbers are.
What a
PS2.
DVD is?
No.
Okay.
I'm getting this info from VG Charts. PlayStation 2 console-wise has sold 158 million globally. PlayStation 4, 117. The original PlayStation, 102. Yeah. PlayStation 3, 87. PSP, 80. And then the PS5 is already all-time 16th at 35.
Okay.
So
yeah. And so back in the day, a DVD, you put this information on a disc, moving pictures. Your TV, Netflix was on the disc.
Yeah.
And let's just say you liked a girl in high school, you would put music on the CD you got from LimeWire. Don't tell Nintendo.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to get arrested or sued the living shit out of by Nintendo, you put a game on that disc.
Don't tell Lars from Metallica.
Yeah,
don't tell him.
They'll pull a Miyamoto. They will come for you.
Yes, they will. The death of Napster. Oh, man.
Rip. Now, Napster kids know we're done. But yeah, no way it outsells PS2.
It's got to be something dramatic. And I don't know what that dramatic thing would be. Like, what IP would push it over the edge?
Nothing.
That they don't already have. That's what I don't know.
I mean, like, the Switch, I think, has a shot of taking out PS2. Because it seems like that's never going away. But even then, Kyle, look up crunch the numbers for me, if you don't mind. Switch is at what? 123
Switch is third all time at 123.
Yeah.
At number 2 between PS2 and Switch is the Nintendo DS at 154.
And now think about that for a second. Nintendo is not killing this thing, which it should. I love the Nintendo Switch as much as a person that hasn't touched it since Metroid Dread. I love Metroid Dread. But
it's a PlayStation game, right?
It's a PlayStation game. We took it. It's ours now.
Yeah.
We're going to love it because Nintendo won't. But you're talking about a console that is in the zeitgeist of like modern, of modern media, right? Like everybody knows what a Switch is. Everybody knows what Nintendo is. Even that is having a troubled time getting up to the PS2 levels. So, yeah, I don't think that's ever happening, Kyle.
Also, wild to think, like, we think the Switch is crazy, right? When in terms of the sales. The DS, you kind of forget that the DS was everywhere, too.
Yeah. And, like, the Game Boy as well. Like, Nintendo,
Game Boy, I think, was number 4 when I looked it up.
Yeah, Nintendo does not like killing its mobile stuff, man.
Because it works.
Because it works, yeah. Remember the Game Boy? Remember the what is it, the nightlight you had to put on it to see when you're like in a drive? Dude, those are wild.
Or like lean it and get the street lights when you're driving by, you time it
now,
correctly.
kids, back in the day, screens were lit up.
No, and they were only like green and black. That was it.
Yeah, it was what a wild time. What a wild time.
Game Boy Color was a huge leap forward in technology.
Humble brag, purple Game Boy Color. That's where it's at. You choose any other color, you're goddamn dope.
Nope, that's what I had.
Yeah.
I also had a yellow original Game Boy. That's the one I had.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about more mobile stuff later, Kyle. It's something I alluded to prior to the show.
Oh,
I got some because I may be a mobile gamer soon. Who knows?
Ooh,
who knows?
Interesting.
I might need some help. Who knows? Ooh. All right, Kyle, it's time for our next story on the list, sir.
Nicholas Tan over at PS Lifestyle writes, Sony raises PlayStation game prices on Steam in select regions. Without much fanfare, Sony has increased PlayStation game prices on Steam, including Returnal, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, and Horizon Zero Dawn in a number of select regions. After pouring through price data on Steam DB, we can confirm that affected regions include Argentina, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Japan, and South Korea. New PlayStation game prices on Steam in various regions. This price increase for Sony's games on Steam was first spotted by a user on Reset Era who noted that the price for Returnal and Sackboy had been raised. We checked Steam DB further and discovered that these aren't the only PlayStation games impacted on the platform, with the majority of these increases occurring recently from April 14th to April 19th. Apart from the games already mentioned, these titles also include Spider-Man Miles Morales, Days Gone, and God of War. How much the price has been increased generally depends on the age of the game. Older games like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn are on the lower end of the range, indicated below, whereas newer titles like Eternal are in the higher range. But in general, here are the new price points for these PlayStation games on Steam in various regions. And the one that I think is most important for listeners, also you're muted, Joe. Canada goes from $59.99, $69.99 Canadian funny money to $64.99 to $79.99.
Yeah. So this is a con that we can put on this.
Yeah.
PlayStation loves to just jack up the price randomly in random areas.
Everywhere but here in the good old US of A.
Because they know we ain't going to take it.
Because
They
we're
saw
also
what we
in
did
a
to T.
recession.
They know what we did to the T. What's going to happen? Sean Capri and his Canadian friends are going to block a few bridges in Canada. Now they'll take that hate. They'll take that
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. That's right. That's what he said at his capital. Where is the capital of Canada?
I don't know. Let's look it up. It's probably
Quebec?
some weird, like,
You think it?
Welcome to Mooseport, like that movie that was in the. No, I
Look it
think
up.
that was in Maine.
This is actually. I'm gonna say it's Quebec.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's figure it out.
You're wrong.
Where is it?
You should know though.
Toronto?
Nope.
I don't know. I that's the only two cities that exist.
Ottawa.
Oh, good on you, Canada. So, Ottawa, don't you know? Anyway, but yeah, this is jacking the price up again for what they will blame is, global inflation. But it's really, it keeps on coming down to simply they can. It just sucks.
Yeah.
But Kyle, do you think it's because they have no? I think Jez Corden was just like, well, it's because they have no competition, and that's why they get to jack up the prices. But I don't think that's the case, honestly, because these games are on PC. It would be one thing if they were, PlayStation's jacking up the prices again in Canada, right? Then you could say, yeah, that's PlayStation, arrogant PlayStation yet again. But this is them raising it in a platform they don't own against other games that are competing genres, in competing genres.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It is, like you said, another con when it comes to PlayStation. They're being way too greedy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Don't like one bit.
Not one single bit. As somebody who who just recently had to trade in their Series X and a bunch of games just so I could pay bills.
Yeah.
Games are getting increasingly or have been expensive since PS5, the hike up, which I totally understand, but hiking it up even more for PC, I don't know. It's like they want people to maybe think about just buying a console and like getting it that way. Like, I don't know where the reasoning is behind it.
So I looked up some of it's like they're jacking up the price by like $10-11.
That's wild.
Now, at the same exact time, these games came out about $10-12 cheaper than like their PlayStation counterparts, right? But even then, that doesn't give them the benefit of the doubt because if it's like the price today, the price tomorrow type of stuff that I don't like one bit. That's a constant bad look that is going to set the precedent for other companies to do the same thing, to use the same excuses to do.
Yeah.
So this is a really bad look. And now I would say, you know what? If there's a game on PC or a PlayStation game on PC, wait for a Steam sale because that's
1000%. Or
bullcrap.
Go pick it up on Epic Game Store.
Well,
if it's there.
I mean, I don't know. They might be jacking up the prices there too. I would check, but you have to.
Epic though, right?
What's that?
They own a stake in Epic though, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't give them the passive like, well, it's not like they're getting revenue share from the Epic Game Store.
But would you be shocked if they didn't raise their prices?
Yeah.
On Epic?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
I mean, I also don't think anybody really shops at the Epic Game Store. I'm gonna be real.
I mean,
I don't think it exists.
Fair.
I was gonna say let's check right now, but then I'd have to log in, and I do not know for the life of me my login for the Epic Game Store.
I'll do it.
Couldn't tell you. I could not tell you in the slightest. That said, as you try to log into the Epic Game Store.
Oh, I'm already logged in. I keep it. I keep that thing on me. I keep that thing logged in.
Oh, okay.
What should I look up?
Let's look up a what's a real popular
Returnal?
one? Let's look up Returnal because that was just got its price raised. So let's look up here.
All right.
Can you finally gift things to people on Epic?
I don't know. on Epic Game Store, Returnal is $59.99. But again, we don't have the price increase, so
That's
this whole
true.
thing,
You know what?
was
This
nothing.
whole experiment just showed us how
Hey,
dumb
Canada,
Americans
it's still
think.
$60 over here. I don't know.
Hey, Canadians, let us know. Portland Lawn.
That was
give us
so
some
dumb.
feedback.
Why'd I do that?
I don't know. Sean Capri, let us know. Are you in Canada? We just don't know, Kyle.
Eh?
Oh, here we go. All right, Kyle, it's time for my favorite segment of the show. We're breaking it up into two parts. All right? Okay? The
Ready.
what you've been playing. Now, or the quick play. But this one is the big meaty one, so we'll save yours for later on. Horizon Burning Shores review, because I rolled credits on this bad boy. Kyle.
Look at you. Pro gamer over here.
Pro gamer. I stayed up late playing it on release, which it went live on midnight for me on the East Coast. God bless. And then I woke up, and that's all I did today was play Horizon because I wanted to get this out here for y'all. I beat the game, so I golden pathed a lot of it. I played a good chunk of the side content as well. To boil it down, and Kyle, please stop me if any questions you have. First and foremost.
Stop. What is Horizon?
Well, good
Who is
question.
Aloy? Why are there robot dinosaurs?
Why are you asking me all these goddamn questions? No, first and foremost, non-spoiler, so don't get alarmed. Nothing here is going to spoil it for you. But in short, it's more Horizon Forbidden West.
Sweet.
It's more scenarios with robo not-so dinos in this one.
Ooh.
So,
Question?
yeah, hi.
How easy is it to access Burning Shores? Because I know the answer. But, like, is it, do you have to find a secret item, right? That's like, ooh, maybe I should go on this quest or whatnot, or...
Nope, just talk to a person.
Great.
Yeah, no, so...
You have to beat the main game, though, first.
Yeah, you have to beat the main game. This person's like, hey, come talk to me on a porch. So they send you out to the Forbidden West. And I got to tell you something here about this story. And I think it just comes from my personal preference. Because we get a lot of stories where, like, the fate of the universe rides on hero A's shoulders, right? I love the stories that are more self-contained, that are more of a personal story, rather than everything in the world is on the line. There are definitely some heavy stakes here. Do not get me wrong. Yes, Kyle, from the trophy room. Question.
Similar to Miles.
Yes, Miles is
smaller scale story instead of saving the whole city kind of situation.
And like, yeah, it's like you're saving a borough instead of the whole city. And here it's like, again, people's lives are in risk, but it's not like the world, the galaxy, and the universe type of thing. And that makes it so that we discover more of Aloy's struggles, internal struggles, and how she has such a problem connecting with people. And that's where the new character, Seika, writes in. Or Seika writes in.
Whoa, Seika's writing it. Whoa.
Yeah. I really loved being on. She was a standout role. She was incredible. And I will say this, in Seika we trust. Not only is Seika the best companion, and even written companion, I would argue she is honestly one of my favorite characters just in the universe. Like, to me, it's like Aloy, Silence, and then Seika right afterwards. She is so great that I would love to see her have like a Miles Morales spin-off, game somewhere down the line, because she's super competent at what she does. She is almost on the same level of Aloy. And it's really awesome to see someone that, Seika is just as good as Aloy, but she has this other personal element that Aloy doesn't have. And you kind of get to see how they have this kind of buddy cop relationship throughout. And I really, really loved it, and how they open up to each other. It's not like at first they're adversaries and like garbage that we see constantly. It's way more layered than that. And I like that type of complicated relationship. That said, I liked the main story. I didn't love the main story, but the villain is a very familiar face in the PlayStation ecosystem.
Ooh.
They played a character before, and once you see them, you'll be like, is that who I think it is? And yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. They are
Okay.
the only hint I will give, and this is if you're a deep Star Wars fan, Kenobi. The story itself.
Kratos?
no,
Dang it!
it's about 6-7 hours long.
Which is great.
Great. This is a $20 experience.
Yeah.
God knows tomorrow when PlayStation jacks the price up.
And like you said, you didn't do everything.
I didn't do everything, so there's still some things, some quests that I did leave on the back burner to get through this story because I was invested.
There's also new trophies and stuff as well.
New trophies, new gadgets, new gizmos. You get a cool fist weapon that also acts as kind of like your hook shot. Yeah, your grapple hook in the game. Well, now you get to grapple onto enemies and do like chain combos.
Yes, please.
There's a really awesome like wrist weapon that acts like a machine gun. Ooh. I will say here, when it comes to the combat, it gets me excited for the ideas here to grow into a third game. And I can't wait to see what they do with that third game in terms of combat now that it's not limited by the PS4. Because there are some... Yes, hi, Kyle. Trophy?
On that note,
yeah.
Yes, hi. Can you tell why it's only on PS5?
There are two sequences that are obvious. One of them I can talk about. It was in the official trailer. It's the Horus, the metal devil himself.
Everyone at home, Horus, not Streetwalker.
That's right. Well, listen, I'm not here to slut shame a Horus. Whatever they want to do with their lives. That being said, though, that fight in particular is very grandiose, and I can see why. Yeah, that this is a PS5 game. There's another cool section where it's playing a lot with water and air physics, and that alone, I'm like, you can't do this on PS4. Like that sequence alone, no way it could be done.
Yeah, because I played maybe an hour tops.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not super far in it.
Because, like, people are like, this game looks even better than Horizon Forbidden West. No, it doesn't. It's the same game.
Yeah,
it's the same game.
I think some of the... maybe I'm far removed, but that was one of those things like, man, it is beautiful. That's
the thing. You're far removed, and it's all the aspects. A lot of it's the aspects of what the PS5 takes advantage of. So, like, you didn't get to see a whole lot of the water physics, in
Fair.
Forbidden West. Now that this is more oceanic, you're seeing that because it's brighter. It takes a lot of the it takes advantage of the color palette really well, and you get to see all the details. So the lighting from the PS5 really shows here, and that's why people are thinking that this is a better overall like looking experiences. It's just taking the aspects of the PS5 that we know and enhancing it further, that were there in Forbidden West, but because there was so much foliage, you didn't get to see it all that much.
And I think the reason why I thought it was like even better than Forbidden West is seeing the reflection of the boat.
Yes.
In the water. I'm like, whoa. I had to stop. And that's why I did the screenshot. I was like, I don't remember reflections being so like pixel perfect. Like everything about it, they just nailed the environment. Like, and it's incredible.
For me, going back to it a year afterwards, like all the little improvements that they've done, like the whole, like, you don't need an animation to go pick a piece of shrubbery. Aloy's not talking about putting this in her stash. Like it's so damn good. And the performance mode of which I played this game on, oh my God, is it improved. It's so fluid. It's so nice and wavy. It's just...
I noticed they have a balanced one too.
Yeah.
between the two.
I bet, but I would stay with this one because it felt nice, man. It's funny because we were talking last week. I'm like, on the after show, we were talking about the whole Redfall debacle, whatever, and I'm like, I can't even tell what's 30 and 60. You know what? I think my eyes learned because I played the game at 30 for 5 minutes because that's where it started me at, and I was like, why is this game moving so slow? I remember it moving a little faster.
I also noticed the same thing.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, performance, here we go. That's not a slight, Xbox fans. It's not a slight.
Nope.
We love Arcane. In Arcane we trust. Kyle, would you like to read some of these questions that some folks got
I
for
will.
us?
I just want to see exactly what the balance mode is.
I think if
it's like the Insomniac 4K 60 HDR thing.
Yeah, it's probably like a you got a lot of quality, like ray tracing with like 45.
It's a 40 hertz refresh rate.
Look at that. Look at me. I knew. I'm so wicked, Matt. So I could use it on the LG and take advantage of it because LG OLED boy,
M9 Prime writes in, I hope you're both doing well. When it comes to the Burning Shores DLC, based on what you have seen, do you think it really couldn't run on a PS4? Or is this a marketing ploy to get more people to upgrade now that there is more stock available?
Okay. Yeah. Right back at from sorry, I answered this question. I'm not. No, this couldn't be run on a PS4. But it's not like when I say that, it's not like because this thing is really. It's no. There's certain aspects that they could have probably cut out to make it run on PS4, but it would it was integral to the story, and they didn't take that out. So
Sweet.
Yeah, no, it's not like a Miles Morales situation. This is definitely a step above.
Lord Hatchie wrote in on Discord. Good evening, fellas. Hope you're both having a wonderful week thus far. Long-time listener, first-time poster, coming at you from the Emerald Isle. Have Burning Shores downloaded and ready to go. Just wondering how long the DLC campaign is, and do early signs point it to being worthy of the $20? Yeah. Keep up the fantastic work. Easily my favorite podcast, and the only one I jump right into the day it arrives on my feed.
Ooh. Emerald Island is in North Carolina. Oh my God, that is a thin ass island, dude. You are getting flooded. Let me know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you must get like one long bridge. Yep, it's a long bridge. Oh boy, Emerald Island. It's such a beautiful name, but it scares me. Anyway.
Wait,
yeah.
I think he means Ireland.
Oh, Emerald.
Because they referred to it as the Emerald Isle.
Really? Do they?
Yeah. He also put the Ireland flag in his comment. It just didn't appear here.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, North Carolina, the state of. That little island you got scares the shit out of me. Ireland's beautiful, though.
Love seeing you around here.
Yes.
Appreciate you writing in.
Unification for Ireland, right? I don't know. People are yelling about it. I have no idea.
In North Carolina, they know, though.
Yeah.
They know down there.
All right, so for me, I looked it over. I thought it was about 5 or 6, but it looks like I played about 6 to 7-ish hours in the Burning Shores. But I will say, again, I haven't completed any or all of it. So like side quests and all that. So I think there's like content worthy of about 8 to 9 hours that you can squeeze out of here. And
do they add to the combat arenas at all?
No combat arenas, just really overpowered armor to get you caught up. And it's great for New Game Plus. But yeah, no, there's more side quests and more like, no, I can't say it or else it's a spoiler. But yeah, you get to see familiar faces.
Okay, but worth the $20.
Yeah, I mean, like, is 8 hours of content worth your time or worth your money, worth $20? I would say yes, absolutely. If this was $30, then I'd be like, you're pushing it. 40, no. This is not like a Miles Morales situation. We were joking about it in one of our private Twitters of just like, well, why is this game, which is essentially DLC, right? $20, but Miles Morales was $50 and it's about the same runtime. And I said, well, one of them is going to sell consoles and the other isn't. But in truth, Miles Morales is a whole new character that you have to then play with, a new move set that you have to think about, talent trees and all that you have to take into consideration. There's a lot of moving parts to Miles Morales, and that's why it justifies that price. Similar to like Uncharted Lost Legacy, right? You know, that one's about $40. It offers, I think, a bit more time for you. Ghost of Tsushima Legends, I think, is also good at comparison as well. It's like not a huge piece of DLC, but it's enough to fill your time. So, yeah, it's worthy of it, man. If you're missing Horizon, which I definitely was, because that's all I've been playing this week, worth your time. Of course, we didn't get a review code. This is just us, blabbering on about it. I literally rushed. I think I played it last night and then this morning and beat it this afternoon.
Sweet.
So I really went on through it. I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West earlier this week trying to get the platinum. I just wanted to make that clear.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again,
another banger into the PlayStation lineup.
Yeah. And honestly, I should have started it off like this. Horizon means so much to us. Without Horizon, the original Horizon, there would not be a trophy room. So like to get to react to the show or the showcase last year was incredible. To see everybody's reactions to Horizon in our Game of the Year category or nominations was incredible. And so like every time that I get to play Horizon and I get to see our community react alongside us, it's kind of like a full circle moment for me, man. Like this game, we wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this game, the series. And I love it so much. So thank you so much, Guerrilla, because you guys are amazing.
Just wait until the day we get Ashley Birch on the show.
Oh man.
I think we'd both die.
Yeah.
and then to the dream guest list, because talking to Aloy herself and then telling her just why without her and that game the show wouldn't exist. I want to do that one day.
Yeah. And
sure.
Like again, I think this gives so much more to Aloy as well, man. I can't get enough of it. This game is so amazing.
Do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a Burning Shores question.
Go for it.
Whatever comes next, full on sequel, or that rumored multiplayer thing?
Rumored multiplayer thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's been long in the tooth, right? I think they've been. So the difference, I saw some people go, was it Frozen Wilds was a lot longer, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember Frozen Wilds much. So like Frozen Wilds is much bigger in scope, but that was a section of the game literally taken out because the game itself was running too long to them. It was getting like Ubisoft Valhalla levels of pacing, so they took it out. This one, it seems like mid-production of Forbidden West, they started making this as well. So this is a from the ground up type of thing, theoretically. Okay. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, Kyle, let's talk about Dead Island 2 review roundup. Take it away, sir.
The Open Critic is currently sitting at a 75. Jordan Midler from VGC gave it an 80. The best games ask important questions. In the case of Dead Island 2, that question is, do you think it's funny to chop zombies into bits? If the answer is yes, then Dead Island 2 is a joy. Wesley LeBlanc, a Game Informer, gave it a 78. This game won't stay with me long, but I'm not sure it was meant to. With Dead Island 2, Dambuster Studios ask little of the player, only that you enjoy a good excuse to kill zombies in increasingly gory ways for a weekend or two. And in doing so, it delivers on the promise of what the series is all about. And Travis, friend of the show from IGN, gave it... did not give it
us 80. It was an 80.
An 80,
sorry.
Thank you.
That was my bad.
No, it's okay. Dead Island 2 is a hilarious gore fest and a competent zombie-slaying adventure, but lacks creativity outside of its great sense of humor.
So, Kyle, first question for you.
Yeah?
Are you picking this game up? Are you thinking about it?
No.
No? Not a Dead Island fan?
Dead Island never spoke to me. I think similar to like Dying Light, which I tried, and I didn't gel with it. I'm not a fan of the first person zombie stuff. I don't know why it is. It just isn't my thing, unless there are guns involved. But I feel like Dead Island and also Dying Light to most degree is more melee focused.
Yeah.
And so that's just not my thing. I love that it's finally out
Yeah.
because this is a long time coming,
Was it?
and I'm glad that it did what I think I expected it to do.
Yeah.
A fun time.
And while I research this here right now, are you surprised that it's a 75? Because I remember this went through multiple developers. Like I think the original Dead Island or Dying Light,
Techland, right?
Techland was doing something with it. They dropped it. Then it was Jaeger Studios, and now it's Dambuster Studios. Like it seemed like this game was juggled through so many times by so many developers. Are you surprised and genuinely like happy about this score here? Like, did you expect this to be a 75? Did you expect it to be really a 50?
No, I expected it to be closer to the Crime Boss City
okay.
score.
What was that? It was like 50s, right?
It's in the 50s. Just because of its tumultuous dev cycle.
Yeah.
I think 9 years, I think, on the quick Google search I have of its journey.
Yeah. You're so much better at that than me. Jesus Louise.
Man, I need to get a job where I just look up keywords and things on Google.
Kyle, keyword. It's like ChatGPT's like, this guy's a goddamn natural.
Fun fact, when I went to go see Mike and Kelsey on Sunday because they're leaving us for another state.
Yeah.
So
North Carolina, they're moving to the Emerald Island.
Yeah, they are. They'll know all about unification of Ireland when they go down there. I beat Shazam with figuring out what the song was.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I got a skill there. I just need to learn how to make it a thing.
Put it on a resume. Can beat Shazam.
Yeah. I can beat Shazam. I need to go on that game show.
ChatGPT or whatever.
No, I think this is this sits well. I'm happy it's like this. I'm glad we don't have another Saints Row situation on our hands because love it or hate it, Dead Island's a pretty... It has some power behind the IP name.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's back in some way, and they nailed, I think, what they were going for, and they not recouped, but they overcame all that adversity and changes and whatnot is awesome. And I think Dambuster Studios deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
For picking up the pieces.
Yeah, because like just think about that. How many visions of this game? Like how many whiteboards, how many erasers it's gone through to then land at like two different studios, and then for this one studio to get this, it's like saying, hey, here's this Lego set. We don't have the manual. But we two other teams try to write down the manual. We might be missing a piece here or there. Who knows? Make this a success. And honestly, if it's capturing that essence, I think it seemingly has. Now I think Dambuster, if they want to continue with this IP, now they have the opportunity to make the game that they truly want, to have their one vision and not have it compromised by whatever mayhem dev hell that this thing's been in. So, yeah.
As long as they have another really dope first trailer.
Yeah.
They got to continue that trend. Because every Dead Island mainline game, which has only been 2, main numbered.
Okay, gotcha.
Because there was Riptide, I think, but I don't think that had like that stellar trailer that the first and second one did. Those trailers are some of the best video game trailers of all time.
Oh yeah,
and as long as they can continue that trend with a third or whatever, I'm all for it. Congrats, Dambuster. Yeah. You did the thing.
And from what I've been hearing, like honestly, if I know I'm gonna pick this game up. This sounds like something that's just a lot of dumb fun, but the week before Jedi, there's no way. Yeah. And then after Jedi, there's during during Jedi, it's Redfall, and then during Redfall, and probably by that time I'm done with Jedi, it's Zelda, and then after Zelda, I have maybe a week of reprieve, and then it's Diablo. Game of the year.
Final Fantasy 16.
And then you have Final Fantasy 16 right afterwards. And I swear to God, through it all, I'm missing something.
Oh, 1,000%. There's definitely something there.
Nuts. Man. And I think, we might be doing something with one of those games. Who knows? May's going to be a month.
It's gonna be cool.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, Kyle. It's time for some flashes. Gotta run fast. Oh, God. Oh my goodness, we're running late on time here. Oh God, Kyle, I've been talking a lot. I need to rest my little voice. Could you run down this?
Absolutely, I can go fast in the Flash News.
Thanks, Bob.
Rebecca Smith over at PS Lifestyle writes, Little Big Planet and Dreams director Mark Healy leaves Media Molecule. Mark writes, quote, So after 17 incredible years of co-birthing and building Media Molecule, I've decided it is time for me to fly the nest, set sail and chart a new course. Today is my last day at Media Molecule. From Little Big Planet to Dreams and beyond, proud to have played my part and lucky to have jammed with some truly brilliant people and such a wonderfully talented community, which I will continue to be a fan of. He added, but a strong cosmic breeze is pulling me and my pirate heart is awakened. Not getting any younger, so I'm going to indulge myself in the winds of my various curiosities for a while and see where they take me, end quote.
I want to say best of luck to you, sir.
Absolutely.
The one thing that rubbed me the wrong way from this quote, again, wish you best of luck, Mark, when he said co-birthing, I did picture a man giving birth.
All right.
And like he's yelling and he's like, you'd be shocked of where I'm crowning. Like that's what the visual I got. And I like that
God.
one bit. Though in serious news, this is another co-founder. I think there's only one of the founders are left here. Okay. Media Molecule going out there having to remake a name for themselves. I want to know what your thought is here, Kyle. Do we think the next game from them is their make or break?
Ooh.
Because I would kind of say it is. I would say that there's a lot of pressure on that next game hitting. And that's why I think that next game's probably a proper Little Big Planet.
I would say the pressure is there. Don't know if it's a make or break.
Okay. Fair enough.
Especially because when I think of I think of Bend, you know?
Sure.
Days Gone was seen as not a
critical
huge success.
Yep.
But they're still getting a chance to do something brand new. So I don't think PlayStation's in that vein of doing that kind of thing anymore. And yeah, I know they shut down London studios and Sony Japan or whatever.
Sony Japan.
I know there was also I think a London studio that they shut down at some point.
Oh yeah. But it's not the London studios. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I know they have done it.
Guerrilla
but I think
London. There you go.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do it to Media Molecule. I'd be shocked if they do. It'd be a sad day.
I wonder what the size, the scope of that game's going to be. Again, like I would love them to go, hey, what's in our DNA? Creative, user-generated content. Great. What's also in our DNA? Awesome platformers. So let's roll the dice. Let's make a safe bet here with a Little Big Planet 4. And I think it would really, I mean, there's already a reawakening of Sackboy with Sackboy's Big Adventure. First off, stellar game in its own right, but once it hit PlayStation Plus, it seems like it's gotten a second breath, a second wind to it. So to me, I think you can make a Little Big Planet resurgence, a thing. I'd buy it day one. I love Little Big Planet, but that's just me. All right, Kyle, you want to hear some news that's just going to make you go, what?
Absolutely.
Sega is officially buying Angry Birds developer Rovio for $775 million. So you're telling me Sega Sammy, my brother in Christ, you made 2 successful Sonic movies and that walking around money you went and bought Rovio? What are we doing?
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that's the power of the IP, I guess, because, Angry Birds...
I mean, are they not just like another King? They make a shit ton of money in mobile.
Sure. So you know what? Who am I? Now, I've seen some Xbox fans out there. Xbox fans, Let me talk to you guys. And let me talk to you, Kyle. Okay, let's get in the green room for a second here. Okay, let's step into the achievement hall.
Let's get into the cross room.
That's right. What?
Oh, okay. Maybe that joke didn't land. The X button is the cross button. Instead of saying the X room, because it's Xbox, the cross. Okay,
fair enough.
It's always good when you have to explain a joke.
Yeah, I feel like it's even funnier. Honestly, you want to say it again? I think the third time's gonna make you laugh. All right.
No.
So I saw a lot of Xbox folks going, okay, here's a play. They bought this to make themselves more valuable. Xbox gonna come in here walking around money after the Activision Blizzard deal is done. They're gonna go through hell again for Sega Sammy.
They're gonna spend another $2 billion for Sega.
Yeah, and Sega's
at the minimum.
And Sega's like, hey, we bought Rovio for $775 million. That they're gonna jack the price up. It's like when someone renovates their house
Sonic is
just for the price.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But like Sonic on its own is pretty valuable, and Atlas is also part of Sega.
So, what's the play here? Like, let's
that
go.
price is going up.
Okay.
No, absolutely no.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah. In the same vein of this, I saw it on Twitter while we were ready to go live. It's nothing huge, but Atari also bought like 100 game IPs like an hour ago of like old PC and old console things like Bubsy and like 1941, the arcade game. They bought 100 IPs for like millions of dollars. So Atari's also trying to make a comeback at some point.
I mean, as someone who used to do PR for them, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no comment, but that sounds like them. All right, Kyle. Here's Horizon merch hits the PlayStation Store. If you want an ugly hat and some cool T-shirts, it's
ugly
there for
hat?
you. Yeah, it's an ugly hat. I don't like it.
How dare you?
It's like this weird puffy checkered look. Not a fan.
All right, let me look.
Kyle,
PlayStation gear, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's. I like the plushies. Don't get me wrong. Plushies are nice.
The Aloy plushie's great.
Yeah, it would go along great with my Hunter plush.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like a quilt. It looks like a quilt with the stitching.
Yeah, it's like grandma's knitted quilt.
It's not my favorite.
No. All right, Kyle, you're
those
a big
shirts
fan.
though are great, but they don't fit me.
No way it fit me. Are you kidding?
That Horace Cove one is pretty dope.
I'm very robust. Kyle, we're just two overweight middle-aged men, but I want you
in our basements.
In our basements. I'm in my attic, you son of a.
That's right.
Kyle, listen, you watch this whole Nintendo in indie world. I want to know though all the things that aren't coming to the that are coming to the Switch, but are also coming to PlayStation, because that's where I'm going to be playing these. And this is guns.
I put in quotes "we think" because there are only some trailers that are on the PlayStation YouTube channel, and not all of the information. It's hard. That's something hard to Google and find. Sure. In one thing. Cult of the Lamb Relics of the Old Faith update is out next week on the 24th.
Nice.
Cult of the Lamb's awesome. Play it.
It's so
games good. Teslagrad Remastered and Teslagrad 2 are shadow drops. They are out today.
Nice.
Never heard of Teslagrad. Have you?
No, but when I saw it, it seems like it's built off an electric Dodge mechanic. So I'm literally looking this up. If it's out now, for PS5. Let's do this.
Also, while this is just a PSA for you and everyone at home, check your PlayStation Stars coins. I got $40 in PSN money the other day, and that's the reason why I played a couple of games I'm about to talk about in a second.
Okay, you know what? I'll save it for quick play. Because you're that one question, I was like, I'll save it for the show. I'm bouncing off of you right now. Am
I in trouble? I feel like I'm
No, you're not in trouble.
Okay.
Again, you're going to be excited. All right, carry on, sir.
Yeah, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon Puzzlers Pack DLC is coming this spring. Blasphemous 2, which is a Metroidvania Souls-like, out on PS5 late this summer.
Spaniard Studio right there.
Ooh-wee. I learned the first game too gory for a Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah, there's something about it. I'm going to buy them again.
It's pixel stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like realistic.
But there's something about it that's just it's like this Catholic horror. Like it's like this, like it makes the inner Catholic, I was raised Catholic in me.
The guilt.
Not the guilt, just like, oh, that's all the shit they told me that would happen to me if I was bad type of shit.
Got it. So you're saying it should be taught in like religious classes?
Yeah, I would.
They should play this game.
I'd go to church if you put it in front of me right now.
Chance of Sonar, which is an indie puzzle adventure game with what I consider like Sable-like artwork.
Nice.
Out September 5th. And the Big Ender Oxenfree 2 out on July 12th.
Netflix Studio.
Yeah.
A Netflix Studio.
One of the Xbox heads went to Netflix. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Halo, right?
Yeah, Joseph Staten, he tried to do he did his best with Halo Infinite of what he was given. And then he left. It looks like it was it was a departure in the making from usually how these things happen. The departures, they were probably leaving in October, you know? So like that was that not
Netflix,
a good. Honest to God, guys, here's the thing: Xbox fans, we're feeling it, right? Like a lot of Halo heads are leaving, and it feels like it's kind of like this situation where it's kind of like the Captain America's bad guys. What are they called again?
Hydra.
It's like what one you slice one head off, they then bring up another one, they tell you why you should believe in this person, and they make that person the false idol, and we'll all believe them until the next game comes out, and there's like this one problem we all have, we'll yell at them until they leave, and then they put someone else in charge and go, hey, look, this is why you like this person, all that stuff.
It's wild to see Master Chief is quietly quitting. I hear all about it on TikTok, and I can't believe it's hit Master Chief.
This company doesn't even deserve my 2 weeks. Cortana, I'm out of here.
I'm just going to be here from 9 to 5, and then I'm out. Ay.
He's a Gen Xer, man. I love it. All right, Kyle, it's time.
Also, nothing wrong with quietly quitting.
No, yeah. As long as it's with dignity.
Do your job. That's
right. Quick play, Kyle. This is a segment for you. You got a lot of games. I want to let you speak on them. So go for it. Again, how quick play works, you got a minute. If I ask a question about it, you get another minute.
Okay.
Vice versa. Go for it.
I won't spend too long on MLB The Show. I'm now over 130 hours. Got almost all the programs done. A few cards away from having everything. It's a good time. You already heard about Burning Shores.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play more. The game I was super excited about, Curse of the Sea Rats.
Okay.
It's a Metroidvania that has that art aesthetic from The Great Mouse Detective that I talked about a few weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Artistically, it's gorgeous. Gameplay wise, it feels like I am swinging a sledgehammer. That's how the attacks feel, and it's not that great. Also, I have a huge problem with a couple of the villains in this game.
Okay.
They are also large and in charge.
Okay.
And the naming conventions, they call them Fatso and Fatsy. Can we stop?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of seeing overweight characters or bigger characters portrayed as like a joke.
Yeah.
And just giving them names based on how they look, and they're bumbling idiots. I hate that. It makes me so angry.
Yeah. I would have preferred Lardo and
Lardo and Lardy.
Yeah.
It's lazy.
It's like, come on.
It's awful.
I think I get it.
Disney Speedstorm.
Oh,
pretty damn fun.
Really? This is a shadow drop, right? This is like a kart racer.
It is not a shadow drop, but you can pay to play it. It's like early access, like a founders pack kind of thing.
So this is
courtesy
of the
no, I've been playing it.
Oh, okay.
Courtesy of the PlayStation Stars points. This is how I was able to get this game. It is pretty damn fun.
Okay.
The unlocks, the new costumes and everything, that whole currency thing is not great. It is aimed to get your money. I will tell you that right now. It's going to take a lot to grind to unlock things, and there is a lot. Maybe
this
too
game
much.
It actually looks good, dude.
Joe, the levels are awesome.
Yeah.
The music is incredible. It's like hip hop remixed versions of Disney classic songs. Like you're racing through a Mulan inspired level with I'm going to make a man out of you playing, but it's all remixed.
Okay.
And it's awesome. The Steamboat Willie track is incredible. It's black and white.
I love
And
the
you
art
start by
style.
going through the movie theater screen.
Yeah.
It is a very fun kart racer. The characters all have unique classes. Like Donald Duck is a bruiser or brawler.
Mm-hmm.
So he gains more boosts when he takes out other kart racers. So you have to play aggressively and try to take them out to gain more boosts than, drifting. Mowgli from the Jungle Book is a speedster. So he's all about speed and going fast. Mickey is like the all-around character.
Mm-hmm.
I got one unlock. I've unlocked Belle, but I haven't used Belle. But it's very, very cool. It's like, if you're a Disney fan, this is all
that's awesome.
Play this game. They also do
is Jasmine in there for science?
Probably eventually.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of characters are going to be in there. Like Keira Knightley's character from Pirates is in the game. Elizabeth Swann.
Oh,
so this is like Disney's quote unquote Fortnite, but in kart racer. It seems like it's going to be a love letter to everything Disney.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun. Currency stuff, terrible. But I made good on my promise from my last game, Resident Evil 4.
Yes. Also, Enigma asked, how was Speedstorm treating you? So you're digging it. Is there a
digging it
to it? Or
there is no platinum.
Okay. Oof.
But like he also says, is the unlocking characters hard or tedious? It's going to be very tedious.
Okay.
They need to find a sweet spot, maybe tune it a little bit, but it's a good time.
Okay.
But yeah, Resident Evil 4. My God.
You're in?
My God.
You're in.
My God.
Sounds like you're
I
in,
knew I was
Kyle.
going to be in. I just needed to sit down and try to, give it its fair shot.
Yeah.
We'll get more into it to Road to Greatness because that's what we're going to record afterwards. But we just played this game, right? 2 years ago, 2020?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, yeah, I know exactly where I'm going to go. This is the the lake area, or this is that area with the Chainsaw Sisters.
Sure.
And like I know what's happening. I know the layout, whatever. They really mess with your history and understanding of what the older game is in the best ways. It is incredible. This remake is so good. My favorite so far, it's very early on, is at some point you have to go to the first church, right? Yeah. To unlock it. And the bell tower explodes and blocks your way. I'm like, wait, that didn't happen in the original.
Mm-hmm.
What are you how am I supposed to get there? What? And also like the really added the story stuff of like Luis.
Yes.
And Ada, and even the big the brute, the I forgot his name. Salazar's like henchman.
Yes. Yeah.
The first real boss fight that you fight. Even him has way more character than the original game, and that is where I ended. I'm now at the castle.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that and see how well that holds up. But one of the best remakes ever made. This game's a real good.
I know. It's a game that I plan on platinuming, but it's like, dude, you gotta run through it 4, 5, 6 times to get it. And I'm like, I feel like this is a game that I'll be playing on a yearly basis. So right now I'm running through it. I unlocked the hand cannon from Mercenaries. And it's broken as shit because it got the upgrade that gives it unlimited ammo.
Oh, boy.
So like it makes that run possible. Like the professional run possible, because again, it's a lot of technicality. Like it's a lot of finessing you gotta do to get that done in 4 runs. But nonetheless, it's my game of the year right now. It's so good.
It's shaping up to be mine too. But we'll wait next week when Jedi comes out. Who knows?
All right, Kyle, you ready for this? Are you holding on to something?
Are we gonna get the joke first? Should I hold on after the joke?
No, just hold on. Don't worry about it. Hold on to the joke. Ready?
Okay, I'm holding on.
Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. Disney Speedstorm for PS5, PS4. Don't destroy the rocket on PS4. God of Rock, PS5, PS4. Minecraft Legends, PS5, PS4. Here it's a fun time. I'm going to be playing that over the weekend. Montgomery Fox and the Revenge of Victor Draven on PS5. Puzzle Quest 3.
Really quick.
So.
Is this just somebody? Okay, it's a wildly different game.
Okay.
I was about to say, like, are they just trying to cash off the last case of Benedict Fox, the Xbox game?
That's right. That's always a ploy.
The Montgomery Fox is a puzzle. It's already out in 2022. It's, I guess, finally coming to PlayStation.
Hell yeah. Maze Seeker, a League of Legends story on PS5, PS4.
Pretty good.
Ooh-wee. On April 19th, Afterlife VR comes to PSVR 2. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Here's the thing that I wanted you to hang on to, Kyle. I'm thinking about picking this bad boy up.
Oh, that would make me happy.
I got the $40 credit. It's $75. You're saving $20 if you just buy them all. I'm thinking my time is now.
Sweet.
So, with the promotion at work, I'm thinking I'm going to have some downtime on my hands.
All right.
Why not put remote play to the test?
Fair.
And I feel like that's not like a Twitch-based game. It's turn-based. Like, I can deal with a little input lag.
With the quality of life stuff where you can up experience by 4 times or no encounters at all, like,
yeah,
it's the best time to play these for sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to start. Here's the thing. I'm starting with 1. I'm starting then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. All right.
So I want those trophies. You get 6 individual trophies.
All platinums?
Yeah, all plats.
Woo-wee.
So it looks like 6 is a little difficult, but like 2, 3, or 4, I think are easy breezy cover girl. Okay. So I think I'm going for it. All right. Good. Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores on PS5. Survival Fountain of Youth on PS5. On the 20th of April, Ad Infinitum on PS5. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly on PS5 and PS4. Labyrinth of Zangetsu on PS4. Stray Blade on PS5. And on April 21st, Dead Island 2 and Mo Waifu H on PS5 and PS4. Kyle?
Oh.
What?
I thought you said my waifu H. I'm like, who is H?
No.
And Joe has a waifu? Did not know that.
Yeah. Her name's Sekyu, and we stand her, we stand her. All right, Kyle, it's time for our favorite segment of the night, and the last segment, that is the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! That's right. Kyle, do you mind, doing the questions this week? Because I'm a little hoarse right now. I'm running out of agua.
No, absolutely not. I can do it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Dewani Rockshow writes in, gentlemen, I am old and extremely fortunate to be in a position to be looking at a projector for my home theater and wonder if either of you or the community has done any gaming on a projector. People make a big deal about input latency, and this is certainly something to consider. But when I went looking at the current standard, approximately 16 milliseconds of input latency, it turns out both the televisions I've been using, some older Samsung LCD panels, are slower than that anyway, and I have not had an issue with it. Granted, I don't play anything competitive online. Is this something you've experienced or have an interest in? As always, thanks for the content.
Fun fact, I have played on a projector. Shout out to my buddy, I'll change his name, Matt. Matt had a home theater in his basement, and we would just play Xbox 360 on there all the time. Ooh. And we didn't know. We couldn't tell the difference. I would even argue there was no latency to it. But it was fun, and it was like 120 inches of just games.
That's awesome.
If you got a leather recliner, why not? Like, you get one at Best Buy, test it out. Yeah. If you don't like it, they have a very generous return policy.
Uh-huh.
And then go get yourself an LG OLED like we got. Join the big boys here.
Yeah.
It's that OLED. So
that's
good.
Awesome.
What about you, Kyle?
I have not had an experience of playing on a projector, but always wanted to rent out a movie theater, like an IMAX screen, and do it there.
Yeah.
Or even at let's say Citi Field when the Mets play, and just play on the big board in center field, which I know they've done because they've done I've seen pictures of them testing it out with like Mario Kart and stuff like that. So
That's so cool, dude.
that would be oh my god, that'd be the
Yeah.
dream. Are you kidding me?
And I remember during the lockdown, they had they're like, just rent the screen, watch whatever
Yeah,
in movie theaters. So like, we're really itching for anybody to come in here. So we're dying.
Yeah, it's like if a projector with like a really good sound system, like in a movie room, man, I'm sure there's like nothing will beat that.
Honestly, yeah, like that's the first thing I do when I get my place is like home theater. Let's go. That's the only thing I care about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Savoy Prime writes in, if a showcase happens, do you think that it will be successful if just one or two big titles are shown, or do you think Sony needs to swing for the fences? In my opinion, Sony is going to have to go ham. With all the PS5s in homes now and being available in the wild, it's time for PlayStation to show why they are the destination for quality gaming.
Swing for the fences. I don't want two games. I want to see. I want it. There's so much that those studios are cooking up.
Yep.
Let's go. I mean, Xbox has already said their thing is 1 hour and 30 minutes long.
That's big.
So,
I mean, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, whatever Blue Point is. Give me an early look at Ghost of Tsushima 2 or Sucker Punch or something. That's 4.
Yeah.
Factions 5. There plus all the third-party deals and whatnot. Maybe a Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, more of that.
Square Enix joins the family, all that stuff.
They gotta go pretty ham on it. Yeah. But on that note, I wanted to bring this up. The Final Fantasy 16 Twitter account tweeted something out yesterday with the save the date. June 11th, 2023 at 3 p.m. Pacific, which would be 6 p.m. our time. Okay. Join us for a pre-launch celebration in Los Angeles. Will also be live streamed. June 11th, live stream. I'm thinking showcase date?
Ooh, no, it couldn't be.
Why couldn't it be?
Because
that's around Summer Game Fest time.
I mean, never say never, because Starfield has the Starfield Direct, which is after their showcase, and it's 30 minutes long. So I mean, never say never, but I don't know. So something tells me the showcase you're going to see two things: more Final Fantasy 16. You're going to be so sick and tired of it at that point, and then you're going to see
of this year.
Yeah, and then you're going to see Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
and those you'll see gameplay to it. Both of them like 10 minutes long. So what I'm really hoping is like an hour and 20-minute show, and then just show me the 3 to 4 AAA, PlayStation exclusive games that you got cooking up, and then show me like your partnered stuff as well.
Sure. I love you saying an hour 20 because a few weeks ago you're like, Kyle, it's not gonna be that long.
I mean, I'm getting hyped. I'm getting lost in the sauce.
It's gonna be great. Yeah. Norms Kassan, sorry if I said that wrong. For new 2023 PS5 owners, what would be your top 3 essential must-play immediately console and gen exclusives? We each get to pick 3.
Okay, you go first.
Returnal is my first one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would do Ratchet and Clank would be the next one.
That was my next one.
Yeah. What's your second pick?
What is my second pick? Man, it's not an exclusive, so I gotta think. Oh, God of War Ragnarok.
Boom.
But wait. But that's for a new PS5 owner.
New PS5. I mean, think of it. Maybe
Would
they have a
played the original.
Maybe.
All right. It's still Ragnarok is still fantastic.
Yep. It's one of the greatest games ever made. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Mine's is Horizon. There you go. And both of these games, both of them are showcase games. These are things that are like, damn, this is that's my mission when selecting EC. These are PS5 exclusives for sure. Yeah,
down to the DualSense and what they do for it as well. What would my third one be?
Let's think.
I'm looking over at my shelf. I don't want to say part 1 because
And see, and look at what the problem we run into. We don't want to like step on each other's toes. We don't want to add, games from our list. But there's a lot to choose from, right?
yeah.
It's been 3 years of really great content.
Yeah.
I gotta echo that. I don't think it's been slow. I've been very content with my PS5. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And my Xbox. I'm loving both.
You know what? For a new PS5 owner, I know I'm missing a big one. I'm just gonna say Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
Oh, wow, okay. Huh. Excellent game. I mean, it's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
I'm going the third and last showcase game. This one, prepare to try. We're doing Demon Souls.
Okay.
Both of them,
Fair.
all three of those games are like, oh my god, I picked the prettiest games. That was my strategy. You went for like, here's some. I mean, I got a pretty. Yeah, I actually think both of our portfolios are very diverse.
Yeah, that was also where I was going. I wanted to make sure like we didn't pick similar things. I almost threw out Guardians of the Galaxy because I love that game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But
good question, Noam. Good question.
Spicy Smoke. You know what? Put RE4 in that list too.
No, it's on PS4.
Oh, good call. Hey guys, I got a
amazing
question for the
is.
Sony Pony Express.
Okay.
I just finished playing the God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus mode. I couldn't remember the last time I was so excited to play New Game Plus mode. Partially it was to experience the story without any distractions from side missions, but it is also how Santa Monica Studios puts all the work into New Game Plus mode. When or which game was the last time you were most excited to get on the New Game Plus mode? Also, really quickly,
Yeah.
side missions of Ragnarok, top tier.
Top tier. Top tier.
Don't sleep on those. Even if I did a New Game Plus of Ragnarok, I would still probably play those.
Oh, absolutely. I laugh because y'all know me, and
Old game's old.
it was pulling me in again. I felt it.
Oh boy.
I felt it again, Kyle. It's kind of like the Bilbo meme, where he looks at the ring and he goes, "Why? Why shouldn't I play Elden Ring for the 6th time?"
I was about to say, which one is it? Bloodborne, Elden Ring. Which one do we go back to?
I've literally platinumed that game twice.
Yeah, you did.
I love it so much. Now it's on sale. I'm like, I might just around and buy an Xbox version.
And get 100% achievements?
Just to get the Chivos on that, just to feel something again. I have it on Steam. I could even boot up Steam and try to play a video game on it. You know?
Yeah.
God, I love that game so much.
Mine would either be my 7 remake New Game Plus mode. That one was special because it added some cool new boss fights and the ability to not use items. Put a intriguing twist on it.
Okay.
Or at least that was hard mode, which I did New Game Plus anyway. I think it was New Game Plus. I mean, you know what? I'll take that back. Last of Us also New Game Plus is also.
You did
pretty
it on
damn
Grounded
good.
too.
Yeah, I did.
Jesus. All right. Yeah. Good question. Good question.
I'm sorry, not Una. We'll get to Una in a second. Professor Boom XO, you get to steal an IP from Xbox and give it to PlayStation. What IP would you take, and which PlayStation studio would you give it to?
Halo, and we're giving it to Killzone. No, we're giving it to Guerrilla.
Give it to Guerrilla?
Yeah. Why am I giving it to Guerrilla? Just because they've handled shooters before, and Halo IP, because I feel like just anybody at this point, you know?
Question.
What's going on there at 343? I'm getting nervous.
Question.
Yeah, so much.
Why didn't you take Halo from Xbox and give it back to Bungie?
You know what? What was I thinking?
I don't know.
Sorry.
What were you thinking?
Because you know what? You don't think of Bungie as like a first party thing, right?
No, but they are a PlayStation
they
studio.
are theoretically a PlayStation studio. They don't report to Jim, but I mean, Sony owned, and I get to play with the rules a little bit. You're right. I go give it to. I return it to its rightful owner to make things right again. And guess what? I don't even care if it's on PlayStation. You know, they can still make it for Xbox and be like, it's fine here. Halo Reach was legit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would give. Ooh, I would give Gears of War
Okay.
to Naughty Dog.
Yeah, right, because they could do something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Naughty Dog has strayed away. I'm thinking of like the original Uncharted, like with the monsters and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like to have them do the Gears of War enemies, which I'm blanking, the Locust, right?
Yep, Locust.
I think would be kind of cool, and like the cover based third person
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think meshes well.
And
That'd be
also,
cool.
and I mean, Naughty Dog also dives in horror with The Last of Us. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
make those, like those are the best moments in Gears is when it's a survival horror element. Um, but one hit me right in the dumb face of mine. We were just talking about what is something that Media Molecule needs, a safe bet. What better way of giving Banjo Kazooie
Oh,
over to Media Molecule? And here's the kicker: you get to make your own Banjo games, your own Banjo levels. Come on, I just made a
or
$1 billion idea.
that, or give Media Molecule Fable.
Ooh, I would probably give Fable.
Because that's where I was thinking. What took me a while, I was like, who would get Fable?
I would actually probably give Fable to
Gorilla?
Guerrilla because they do a lot of
That'd be,
range
yeah.
combat with Aloy. Now
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something another fantasy element, but make it close range and magic.
That's fair.
Fable's
Or
legit.
Sucker
Dude.
Punch.
Sure.
Sucker Punch and Fable could work.
Uh, have you ever played the original Fable?
No.
Literally one of the best action RPGs ever made.
That's what I've heard.
I love it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuna writes in, "Hey there, guys. Hope you are both doing well. I'd like to correct my statement from last week saying my photos, along with the other photos, were smoking. They were not smoking. They were all bangers. Gotcha, Yuna. My
right.
question this week is you guys are going on a vacation and you're only allowed to cloud stream the games that you play during it from the PS Plus catalog. What games will you pick out to stream from and why?"
Ooh, good question. It's only from the PlayStation Plus catalog.
Uh-huh.
The one that comes from the top of my head, and I know it's a poor pick because we're streaming and on the PlayStation Plus catalog, but so something tells me Demon Souls.
Oh,
I don't know
right.
why. That delay would
That's
be
fair.
horrendous, but I want that plat, and why not?
I would just do Resistance.
Oh, fair.
Resistance 3, because it's one of the PS3 cloud streaming games only anyway.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Fair enough. I like it. Oh, you know what? No, I'll do Wild Arms. It's a nice beefy RPG.
Oh.
It's turn-based,
Yeah.
no input lag. There you go. I changed my
Yeah.
mind.
Bertos Maximus. Question for the Sony Pony Express. Thanks, guys, for the recommendation last week on what to platinum next. I'm going to be playing Fallen Order to prepare for Jedi Survivor.
go.
My question is, do you think it will live up to the hype? And is the collector's edition really worth the price tag? As always, have a good one, and thanks for bringing us all the best podcasts.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Collector's edition's limited run,
Yep.
right?
I'm nervous. That collector's edition better be on its way because I already paid for it apparently. But apparently, like there was issue with the Dead Space collectors, Kyle.
Was there?
Yeah, like one of my buddies did not get it until March. So I've said this privately. I'll say it publicly. If that collector's edition is late by a month time, I'm canceling it, and I will never pre-order another thing from Limited Run. My word. Because the collector's edition comes with the saber, and if I'm not mistaken, it comes with
I'm trying to find it.
it comes with the Disney hilt or the Disney saber attachment, so you could turn it into like a real saber. Like you could buy it off the Disney store and attach it. The thing is that hilt is not going to be accurate because it's already too wide and a little bit too big. So with that said, I have a saber community that builds 1-to-1. So like the Qui-Gon Jinn saber that I've shown on the podcast, the Kylo Ren saber, Kylo's a close 1-to-1, but like the Qui-Gon one is a 1-to-1 replica. They are making Cal's saber for this game. and it's about 250, 300, and it's gonna be accurate. So for me, if it's late, I'm just gonna cancel. I'm gonna give my money to a small business. You know.
It does say it's in production. Estimated ship date April 2023.
Okay.
And what comes in it is the Cal Kestis replica lightsaber hilt, premium magnetic box that holds the hilt, certificate of authenticity, the official steelbook, copy of the deluxe edition, and then the cosmetic pack.
Yeah. My brother's paying me for the deluxe edition. Fun fact, because I'm getting it digital.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the question? Am I excited for it? Oh, of course I am.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as not as big of a Star Wars fan as you, Joe, or pretty much most of my friends, I like Star Wars. It's not like my favorite fandom. Fallen Order was a stellar game.
Yeah.
It was one of the best of that year, minus the map. That map better be fixed.
Oh, dude, if they fix it, that's a 90+ game. And I hate saying that.
1,000%. Yeah, I know.
Because that's a Sean Capri game. But I'm rooting for that game to be at least a 92.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a fun time.
Yep.
It's going to be
Let's
good.
Go, Cal.
The Green Guerrilla Gamer writes in, "Sup, boys? I think it's about time I shared this little story with you both to talk about. So last year in roughly March, I learned that Nolan North would be at my comic expo in my city at the end of April. I was so excited that I came up with a brilliant idea. To have him sign my platinum screenshots from all 5 Uncharted games. That's awesome.
That's a great idea.
This is my idea, trademark, copyright. But that meant I had a little under 2 months to plat 5 games. I then decided that Sifu would be my 25th platinum trophy because of beating the game under the age of 25, and it lined up perfectly with Uncharted The Lost Legacy being my 24th. It is now April 19th, 2023. I have only platted the first 2 Uncharted games, and there being an 8-month gap between the two. And it had sent me into a heavy gaming funk knowing that I, quote-unquote, couldn't platinum any other game because of this essentially meaningless goal I set for myself. And now it's been so long that I feel like if I don't do it, I will have quit and failed. Marcus O'Neill brought me out of this funk for a short while late last year when he chose Inscription for our Backtrackers game, which rocketed its way into my top 5 games of all time, but I didn't platinum that either. So my question is, have you ever set a goal for yourself when it comes to gaming, or just in general, that seemed like it was easy and then turned out to just ruin your day, or in my case, a whole year? Interested to hear what your guys' answers are going to be. Hashtag Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. P.S. Just to clarify, I've recently been pulled out of this gaming funk. That's why I have Last of Us Remake under my belt and a couple other games. Wasn't worried about making content out of it or anything. I just played and enjoyed, and that was really calming for me.
Yeah.
But yes, I do still plan on finishing this challenge I made for myself halfway through Uncharted 3, and I'll be playing more today.
I would say this. You already achieved it. You already achieved more than me. I see those games. So I see some games as the impossible task, right? Like that's some John Wick like level shit you got to do. Where like prior to The Last of Us Part 2, I would say that their platinum trophies were obnoxious. And it goes back to like, what's a good platinum trophy? A good platinum trophy is I experienced the whole game. There was challenge out there set forth for me. But I was experiencing the game on all throughout all of its aspects of which it had. So, like, for example, I think Horizon's a great platinum trophy because there's some challenge in there for sure, but it's about experiencing all aspects of that game. Like, even
and you don't have to do everything.
Right. But like you could do like the stuff like Machine Strike. And I was like, oh shit, I really like Machine Strike. This is a good ass game. Yeah. Like go out there and like go on 2 flying mountain quests, like that type of stuff. Like you're experiencing that game. Then there are some games that are challenging, like Elden Ring or Bloodborne, where there's a challenge for you, but I know I can do it. I've done it before. I platinum Sekiro, humble brag. And that's my achievement. So like I don't have a lot of platinum trophies. I think I have 56. And some of them are easy plats because they're symbolic trophies, like glitch trophies for the Callisto Protocol. Still pissed off about. But like for me, it's just like set the realistic goal. Like I have those silly ones too. Of like this one has to be number like 60 or whatever. But I'm quickly dropping that as I'm losing more and more free time. So Get the plats that are important to you. I mean, as a host of a PlayStation podcast, I know it's blasphemer when I say, I got like 56 plats. It's fine. But like, you got,
I'm not going to platinum shame you. Absolutely
but
not.
like Kyle's over here with 315, fake platinums, and I'm here to shame him.
Okay, here we go. Not all 315 are fake plats. Okay? Can you admit that?
Sure.
Not all of them are bad. Only 60% of them.
Only 60%. Sure.
But I first of all, I love that idea, Green Gorilla. I think that is super unique, and I hope that you do accomplish it, but give yourself time. Yeah. Like that Uncharted 4 Platinum also broke me because it has that speed run. You have to beat the game under 6 hours. I attempted it 5 different times, and I failed 4 of those.
That's annoying.
So, yeah, I just, take care of you and everything else will fall into place.
Yeah. I love that advice. But like for me, like I take a look at Resident Evil 4, I'm like and Bloodborne's one I got over years as well. So like for me, I take a look at the Resident Evil 4 going, if I could get it, I could get it, and that's cool. But I also know it's an obnoxious platinum trophy, and I'm not going to beat myself over the head over it,
I have to go unlock the front door. My sister is locked out. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries about it. I'll read the next set of questions. Okay. First off, how do you lock yourself out of your own house, Jeez Louise, Kyle's sister. Oh, boy. All right, Ghetto Berry writes in, and they ask, hey, guys, well, it's just me right now, but you know what it is. What was your first game that brought your attention to PlayStation? Ooh, this is a good one. Mine was Tekken 2, followed by the Tomb Raider 2. What am I, an old man? Well, yes, I am. By Tomb Raider 2 and Ridge Racer Revolution. All the 2s. Love you guys. As always, keep up the good work. Thank you, Ghetto Berry. What was the game that turned my attention to PlayStation? I'll do a long answer because Kyle's still at the door. I would say for PlayStation 1, it was Spyro and Crash. Those were the 2 games that I was like, I need a PlayStation. That's when my grandma bought a PlayStation so that we would go to her house. But she didn't understand the concept of memory cards. And then PS2, I would have to think it's Ratchet and Clank, Killzone, and Jak and Daxter. Those were my games on PS2. Those were my mainstays on PS2 as well. So those were the games that caught my eye on PlayStation 2. For PlayStation 3, what turned my attention was Uncharted. Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2. Those were my... That was it. And then Last of Us was the deal breaker where I'm here forever now. Hey, Kyle, question from GhettoBerry13 that writes, what was the first game that brought your attention to the PlayStation brand?
Crash Bandicoot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was the OG PlayStation. Yeah. Sorry, I had to walk up like 2 flights of stairs.
No, I sense taste when you ran. Don't worry about it. All right, Crash.
Yeah, it was Crash. It's the commercials got me.
Yeah.
Where he's yelling at Mario.
Yeah. Now, you know what? Miyamoto would have that guy's neck.
1,000%. Also, Crash Bandicoot showed up at the Creator Clash 2, which was wild. He beat up some guy. Yeah, it was Crash. It was also, oh my God.
You got this.
Obviously, Final Fantasy, but...
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7?
I love Tomba. Tomba was another one that I really made me fall in love with PlayStation because it was weird. Yeah. And you're fighting evil pigs. And Brave Fencer Musashi, another really, really good PlayStation 1 game.
There you go. All right, Kyle, I'm gonna give you some. I'll read the last one because I get it. Stairs, our knees, we.
Yeah.
Clear Wings XYZ writes in, question for the Sony Pony Express. Has there ever been a game on your backlog to play that when you got around to it, you didn't enjoy playing it at all? Thank you both. This explains every time I am looking for the next game to play, I go through at least 5 or 6.
Let me tell you a little story about Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins.
No, God.
I waited a long time before I played that game, and... Oh boy, I lasted maybe an hour and a half. I was like, I can't do this.
No.
I heard everyone. I don't know if everyone was joking about how good they loved it or how much they loved it, but it's not a very good game.
Not for you.
Not very good. No.
Well, Kyle, that was the last question, and that's been the trophy room this week. Ooh, what a week it was. I really love this episode, Kyle. I really had a lot of fun.
Same. Yeah. We always have a lot of fun.
I know, we always do every week.
I love how you always end the show like that. Like, oh, I really love that. It'd be a problem if you were like, you know what, Kyle, I hated that show. All right, follow us here.
Well, wait till next week. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Jedi Fallen Order comes down. It's like, I would be really pissed. I'd be really upset.
Everyone listening, and Joe, yourself, until next week, just really think about it. Okay. Magnets, how do they work? Just like truly, how do they work?
Yeah, how do they work? Someone write in the questions. We'll put it in. We'll put it in the show next week.
Oh my god, we're gonna read a whole dissertation.
Let's not make it a page long. If you could put it in like 2 tweets or a tweet of why it works, a thesis statement, why it works, you're in. I'm not lying. Kyle, been the show.
We're out here to try to disprove Insane Clown Posse.
Exactly.
That's our new goal.
And is the Earth really round? I don't know anymore.
Listen, you get to the end and you fall right off.
Kyle, anything you'd like to spotlight before we get on out of her?
Myself, Mr. K-Sep, pretty much everywhere. Follow all the indie game coverage news you need at 61indie. That's SIXONEINDIE.
Yeah. You can find me over at Mr. Badbit. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room. You can find the Trophy Room wherever you find your podcast service of choice, whether that's Apple Podcasts, whether that's Google Play, whether it's, SoundCloud. We're there. We're everywhere. Rate us 5 stars on those platforms. It really does mean a lot. We read them each and every week. It really fills our hearts if you go out there and do it. We're only 68 reviews away from hitting 1,000 reviews worldwide on both Apple and Spotify combined. That is just such a huge feat. So we got it. We could do this, Yeah. That said, of course, and just a little heads up for our video watchers, in 2 weeks, May 3rd, 2022, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be the first episode where we record it live in front of a non-studio audience over at youtube.com/@PS Trophy Room. So, with all that said, with all that out of the way, everything linked in the description down below. Keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye, love you.